So nothing worth doing is easy, right?
That's true.
So I know there's been some obstacles. What did you find that was difficult, through this journey that you're on, for you to do or change that you ran into?
Well, for decades, for the last 20 years for me, and I guess for the society, several decades of believing the standard American diet advocated by, again, I hate to keep harping on this, the American Diabetes Association and American Heart Association.
Right.
If you eat according to their guidelines, it's not going to improve your health.
Right.
In fact, in American society, with the high carb emphasis, you can't go anywhere without hoagies and
Right.
pizzas and all
Right.
that kind of type of things.
Pastas and
Right.
Yeah.
So going against that belief system is like walking into a 100-knot headwind.
right,
Okay, it's very difficult until you decide to believe the science behind the ketogenics and the
Right.
physiology. Which, again, being a pilot, I had to do my own research.
Right.
Okay, I've done my research. It's out there for anyone. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to understand
right.
it. It's really common sense.
right?
It's the way we live, men live, and women, for centuries before the all the processed foods.
Right.
So I believe science. I went ahead and followed the guidelines, the keto guidelines, and
Right.
I think you had told me that in the beginning that keto is kind of starts out general, but then you have to tailor it to you.
Correct.
Okay, so what I was doing is inadvertently, as I was charting and monitoring my blood sugars and blood
Right.
ketones, things like
Right.
that, and my diet, I was finding out what works for me. And I
Exactly.
found out for me, I'm extremely sensitive to carbohydrates.
Right.
And carbohydrates, as we know, spikes your insulin,
Right.
which is really bad. Especially if you have insulin
Some
resistance.
right.
Okay, and so as I was reading and studying the physiology and the science behind it, and seeing firsthand how it was affecting me every single day,
Right.
I became more and more of a believer.
Right.
To where now I think I'm probably obsessed.
Yeah, that's
But,
okay. In a good way.
Yeah,
In a good
way.
Right.
And the other thing is, the other difficult part is the adjusting a little bit to social pressure, in the sense that our society revolves around food.
Right. Sure.
Everywhere you go, holidays, birthdays, families, friends, we all like to get together and we like to eat.
Right.
And so trying to incorporate intermittent fasting, and the keto into that, at first seemed like it's very difficult. Now it's not hard at all.
Right.
Part of it is because once you're fat adapted, you're in ketosis, you're seldom ever hungry.
Right.
So under the old SAD diet, and if you try to fast, go without a meal, you'd be dying.
be hungry,
Hunger, pains, cravings. I have no cravings whatsoever.
Right.
Every now and then I look at a pizza or something, it looks good, but because I'm not hungry, I have resistance.
Right.
I'm not tempted.
Right.
But the thing that's behind it is that I'm feeling so good.
Yeah.
So
you're more motivated to.
I'm more motivated. I'm feeling good. I don't know what hormones are going on in there, if it's growth hormones or whatever.
Right.
But I'm on a high
Right.
a lot of times, a lot of energy.
Right.
I'm feeling good about myself.
Right.
And I think that's true for anybody who's shown any kind of improvement.
Sure.
They're going to feel good about your progress, and you don't want to do anything to mess that up.
Right.
But it helps by not being hungry.
Not being
all the
hungry
time.
helps a lot. Yeah, it does. And I've experienced that same thing. And also, it's interesting you talked about, how you're sensitive to carbohydrates. I found myself to be sensitive to proteins. When I first started to try to get into ketosis, I had to really cut back on my protein because I was eating too much and my body wasn't utilizing enough. So it was converting to sugar
Right.
and raising my blood glucose level. So everyone is so different. For
Right.
me, I really had to focus on cutting my proteins down to like 40, 50 grams a day.
Right.
My carbs had to stay down below 30 also in order for me to get there the first time I was trying to into ketosis. So it's an interesting point that you brought
And
that up.
another thing I'll throw out there, I didn't realize that portion control.
Yeah.
I never thought about portion control, but
Yeah.
it happened because I was losing weight, and I just didn't have the stomach capacity.
Right.
So I was eating less and less, but not feeling hungry.
Feeling hungry.
And to the point where I'm thinking, maybe I ought to eat more than I'm eating.
Right. Right.
But not wanting it.
Right.
And that's a good.
That's a good thing, and we know that because fat is a slower, cleaner burn than carbohydrates. They tend to burn quicker, so you need to replenish them quicker.
Right.
And you see athletes now, marathon runners and triathletes, fasting instead of carving up before they compete.
Right.
So it's really interesting thing that's starting to change even in the athletic realm.
Oh, interesting you said that, because I've done intermittent fasting, but also done prolonged fasting.
That's correct.
And I'm listening to the same people,
Right.
that talk about it.
Right.
And back in December, I did my first prolonged fast. I did 5 days.
5 days, right.
And they recommended, Dr. Berg and some of the other folks,
Right.
they recommended doing your exercise and even high intensity in the middle of your fast.
Right.
Well, I thought, no way,
Right.
okay? But
Right.
I did. And I tell you, and since then I've been on 3 or 4 prolonged fasts. That's
Right.
more than 48 hours.
Right.
And I do high intensity, and I see a personal trainer, and I
Right.
work out in that period. I'm never hungry.
Right. And you
So-
feel good. You have
and
energy.
I have energy. It's amazing.
You're building muscle.
Right.
You're losing weight.
Right.
So it goes against a lot of what we were told,
Right.
that you can't do that. But again, you're working with some professionals that know what
Right.
they're doing. They're guiding you through that process, which is
Exactly.
really important. That's awesome.
Yes. Yeah.
So, Mike, if you will, could you explain what changes that you have seen in your body, and you talked about medication and so forth?
Well, I'm in less than 5 months. I've gone from 206 pounds to 172 pounds as of yesterday.
That's awesome.
I'm off all medications, which were a significant number,
Right.
with the exception of metformin. I'm taking less than half of that.
Right.
And I take a little levothyroxine for my thyroid, and I'm after conferring with my doctor, after my next test, see if we need to cut back on that.
Right.
And I'm, mentally focused. It's amazing. Up to a few months ago, I was in a fog for a long time, not realizing, knowing that something was wrong, but not knowing. Very depressive. I have no
Right.
depression whatsoever, and feeling 30 years younger, high energy.
Great.
I just can't get over how well I feel at 6
That's
years, 6
awesome.
years of age.
Right. Nice and young.
Yeah,
Nice
nice
and
and
young.
young. Yeah.
And also, Mike, I know there's something that you wanted to express to our viewers that's coming from your heart, and that you really feel passionate about, and educating other people. So why don't you share with them your thoughts?
Yeah, I haven't paid a dime to do ketogenics. You can do it without having to get a subscription to some plan that promises to take weight off. And my passion is to help to encourage you, if you're struggling with weight, diabetes, any other kind of complications that I know ketogenics, I know for a fact, and science is showing, will help people from Parkinson's to dementia to Alzheimer's. There's so many things, especially inflammation. I don't think we talked about that.
No, but it's
But
the
the
basis of all disease, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
And arthritis, I didn't even mention that. My
Right.
arthritis, pain, and discomfort is totally gone. I
Right.
won't go into all the difficulties I have with that in
Right.
the last few months. That's totally gone after I've been to Rothman Institute and
Right.
several others.
Right.
And so my purpose and desire is just to be an encouragement to anyone listening, that it doesn't take much to get a little bit of improvement. And Rome wasn't built in a day, but you can find a whole lot of improvement taking baby steps.
Right.
Just start somewhere. Get with somebody that can encourage you, can coach you in
Right.
what to do the right way.
Right.
And don't give up. You can do it.
Never give
And
up.
just believe the science. Be your own advocate.
Right.
Your doctors mean well. Some of them never been trained in this stuff. But
Most of them have not been trained.
but a lot of them, my doctors are coming around.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure that my 2 doctors, my one doctor, I won't mention names, but
Right.
he's a little bit shorter than me, but a lot rounder.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my
Right.
last visit, he sat looking for about 20 minutes just at my charting.
Right.
And he saw my weight, saw my blood, and he was asking me questions.
Right. Exactly.
They're paying attention. They're
They are.
learning. If
Sure.
you read the right people who know the business, medical doctors who are doing this, like Dr.
Right.
Jason Fung,
Yep.
they will tell you that traditional science, traditional medicine is starting to change.
Right. Well, they have to, because
They have to.
this is the proof.
But don't give up. Please give it a try and be encouraged.
Thanks. Mike, my goal is to educate as many people as I can, and having you come on here and just meet with me and just discuss and be willing to share your story is a blessing to me, and it will be to a lot of viewers out there. So we really appreciate you coming out.
And one other thing
Yeah.
I just wanted to say is that the whole purpose is not to live forever,
Right.
but to have a lot of life in
A
the
lot of
years.
life
that
in
you
the
have.
years. That's right.
That's
Most important thing.
right.
You're right. Thanks, brother.
Oh, you're
Appreciate you coming out.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.